Hello again. I'm John Luciano, and better known as John Motormouth Luciano, and here we go with another podcast. And we try and take our podcast all over the place and do the different things. You know, we've done Amarillo National Bank, and we've done the Amarillo Club, and so we're coming to you from the Amarillo Club, but we're going to talk tonight about the Amarillo Symphony. And it's really more than just Amarillo, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. People come in, from what I can gather, they come in for hundreds of miles when y'all put these things on. So real quick, what we're going to do is we're going to go around our distinguished panel of guests here, and Liz, you're going to start first. Tell us who you are and what you do for the Amarillo Symphony.
I'm Liz Bentley, and I'm the Director of Development for the Symphony. So I like to raise money for the Symphony, all about the money.
Great job.
And I'm Laura Street, and I am running for president of the Symphony Board.
That's awesome.
So we'll see how that works out.
Who gets to vote?
Who gets to vote? The Symphony Board gets to vote.
They get to vote?
Yeah,
Who does it?
I'm campaigning.
Okay, so we won't see like commercials on TV
No, we
or
won't see
anything.
commercials. I'm campaigning.
Okay, all right, just checking. All right, so we'll have to put this out so this will be our first. This is her first campaign. So
yes, that's right.
I guess we could put together maybe a debate. Is there anybody else running?
Yeah. Well, except I don't think anybody's debating against me at this point. We have to find out.
Okay, if it happens, let us know. We may have to go into. Hopefully, it's not 17 people like it was when we started.
Exactly. No, we're
this
not
other
going
thing
there.
we've been watching. So.
And I'm trying to be nice. Yeah.
I'm Corey Cowart. I'm the executive director of the Symphony, so a little bit of everything. I'm not on the stage for a very purposeful reason because we have somebody much better than me on the stage. So
is that
I do
Giacomo?
everything behind the scenes.
Yeah, the guy with the coolest name in town.
Yes,
so.
Giacomo,
what a name!
Is the man on the stage on the podium.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So here's a picture of Giacomo right here. So we'll go ahead and put that out there as the first thing you got to come up with. So we'll take care of that, and we wish Giacomo was here. Maybe next time he's in town, we can get him into our deal.
Yep.
So
today is actually his birthday.
Well, happy birthday!
Yeah.
We need to send this to him for his birthday.
Yeah.
We won't say how old he is. We'll be nice. Okay, good. All right. So tell me, as the redneck that I am, with an Italian last name, I know I get plenty of grief about that. So tell me a little bit. How long has the symphony been around?
Oh, 90 years, continuously
91.
running. 91, you're right.
91.
We're past our 90.
1924.
So in 24, where would it have been?
In 24?
Downtown? Did it have a symphony hall, or was it sharing? Do we know? I'm not insinuating that any of y'all were there.
No. There were originally, it started out with 12 women who actually made up that original, and it was the first conductor, so to speak, was Grace Hamilton. And so, but I don't know where they performed.
Well, she was a piano teacher, and
Yes.
so they performed at the college, I think, at that particular time. And then it grew with more musicians, and it became the Amarillo Philharmonic. And then Clyde Roller took it over as the conductor.
Right.
And Eddie Malin, who just passed away this last year at 103. 102.
Wow.
Yes, and he took it over he was a musician, took it over as the executive director, and he and Clyde Roller kept it going when it was about to go bankrupt, and just knew that our community needed to have a community orchestra, and kept it going, and so now we are 91 years continuously.
And it has a permanent home.
Has a permanent home, the Globe News Center for the Performing Arts.
I believe all of y'all were involved in putting that new home together. I know you were.
These two were.
Those two were. Okay.
Laura and I were.
Yeah.
Liz and I, yes, we were.
So-
We were work buddies.
Executive director and associate executive director.
As we're talking, we'll break to some slides here and kind of show parts of it or whatever that we've pulled in. And I've taken a tour of it, and it is absolutely incredible. And when you take that tour, you walk in thinking, okay, well, it's a big building. Okay, I've been in plenty of big buildings. What you guys did in every aspect, I'm gonna let you tell just a few of them. And I know, like the part that I thought that was super cool is the aluminum roof that has the holes in it. So I thought the holes were there like for this really great acoustic reason or whatever. What's the real reason?
Those are cattle truck panels, but they're new cattle truck panels.
Yeah.
When the builders ordered those, they actually had a hard time getting them ordered because the guy on the other end of the phone thought it was a joke. And so he hung up on him 3 times. But yeah, so they're cattle truck panels. They wanted it to represent what Amarillo is about.
Which is what our architect did in so many areas. He's from New York. What does he know about the Panhandle of Texas? So he spent 3 months in the Panhandle of Texas, hiking the canyon, flying around on a little plane, taking pictures of the irrigation fields of the Panhandle. And what does he do is the carpet, the tile floors, the fabric of the backs of the seats are the configuration of the irrigation fields of the Panhandle of Texas. The color of the stone, the color of the brick comes from the Paladura Canyon.
Right.
Everything is a reflection of who we are and what we are. But I think one of the main things is that we wanted a symphony orchestra hall. But then we said, we really can't afford just a symphony hall. We have to have a multi-purpose hall. We're a small rural area.
Right.
So he took his thoughts back to New York City to his team and said, we need to figure out how to give them both, a symphony hall and a multi-purpose hall. So they came up with the idea of a shell that was a solid shell that went in its own garage when it was a multi-purpose stage tower, 10 stories high, with fly lines that drop Peter Pan or whatever they want to drop. And then when it needs to be a concert hall for a voice or an orchestra or any kind of an instrument, this shell moves on a train track onto the stage and becomes the same room as the audience. And it's 50 tons. No, 25 tons. It's 25 tons. Yeah, 25
large.
tons.
It's large.
It's large.
It's large. It's heavy.
Yeah.
But it's in the same room as the audience, and we're a concert hall. It's the first one at the time in the world that we are both a multi-purpose stage when it's back at its garage, and when it comes forward, we are a concert hall. Wonderful.
The acoustics are amazing. Yeah,
The acoustics are amazing.
when you do the tour, they'll have you sitting in there's no bad seat.
There's
but what
no
you
bad
would
seat.
consider the bad seat is you're up at the top, and this person down on stage is whispering, and you're hearing it, and you're going, okay, wait a minute. Nah, there's got to be smoke and mirrors. There's a trick in here somewhere. That can't be right. But the acoustics are just outstanding.
Yeah, the fun part is when we have children's education programs, and the children are in the audience, and they're trying to play their iPods in their ear, and the teacher's going, I hear you.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
But it's just a building. It's what it does for people that counts.
So, go back. Where did the love of the symphony come from? I mean, did you play an instrument when you were young? You
I did not. No.
Where did all of a sudden the light just pop and all of a sudden I love this? I want to be a part of this.
Well, and I wasn't brought up that way.
Right.
So my first experiences were actually here in Amarillo. I had children who went through the Bell Bow program, and so I had tickets for that and would go occasionally. But as far as actually developing the love of it's taken me a while, but it's great. It is great, and it's great for everyone. You can hear something you like.
Absolutely.
You may not like it all,
So,
it's good to go.
exactly. How,
Listen to him. I mean,
yes.
he's got a great story.
okay, and tell me a little bit about how you got involved. Okay, and then how many a year? Give us a little bit of how often does it happen?
So, as far as my background, so I'm originally from Houston, Texas, and up until I got into 6th grade, I was just sports. It's what my family did.
Sure.
My brother was, kind of the starting quarterback, the starting pitcher, the varsity team, all that kind of good stuff in high school, and I picked band because it's all my friends were doing it. But and I started actually becoming a lot more serious about music because of cartoons, specifically Looney Tunes and
Looney Tunes.
I really liked
All of that music, it all comes from some orchestra,
it's
right?
something that my kids have started watching recently, like Animaniacs. It was this cartoon that I would watch in the '90s and you'd hear this live orchestra playing with cartoons, and I thought, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about orchestral music at the time. I knew I wanted to sit in a room, play my trombone, and watch cartoons at the same time. To a 7th grader, that was just an amazing job.
Sure.
But over time, it's like I discovered, hey, there's actual composers are amazing, and the music that these ensembles play is just, it's still one of the few things that gives me goosebumps. So went to a bunch of schools, got various degrees in that, and but started realizing that I wanted to be able to make these things stronger and make these. To me, this orchestral music and music itself is kind of mankind's highest artistic achievement.
Sure.
I was been around a bunch of places and there.
From beating on a hollow tree, probably in the beginning, right?
Everybody.
It kind of became a drum. They started something over it.
To Yale University.
Is that where you went?
Yeah.
You'd see the sports went away because he didn't name the school or like Go Frogs or Go whatever. The music came in. Go Trombones.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, Yale. You go to a football game, there's a bunch of future doctors and lawyers playing football. So it's not.
They're just trying to learn about about the injuries on the field. They want to be the first one to see it.
But as far as what we do inside the Globe News Center is, we are one of the 3 resident companies there, and we have a series. Our subscription series is basically 7 programs. So it's about once a month, school year. If you want to think about it, kind of academic year season, September through April, and it's basically 1 program, 2 performances each night. Because what we didn't touch on is sort of the homes of where we've been. That I think it was starting off first, it was a college or university setting someplace, and then I believe there was a municipal auditorium that's since long gone, and then we moved into the auditorium at the Civic Center, which seats like 2,400 folks.
Not very acoustically sounding.
And before we
we
moved into the Globe News Center, we just do that 1 concert. So when we moved in, we had a much smaller house and had to double up, and it's been fun these past 10 years now.
10 years. 10-year anniversary this year.
That's right.
Yep.
Good job, Laura.
Good job, Liz.
From our side, on the Street Auto Group side, we know a little bit about it, just strictly because of you and Joe and y'all's affiliation with it. But the one thing we know for sure is that you definitely bring people in from out of town because we provide vehicles. So and they've got to go to the airport, and these people come in. So that's the neat part of it, is that outreach. That it's more of a panhandle deal. But where do some of these people come in from? Giacomo comes in from
Miami,
but he's
Florida.
from where originally?
Oh gosh, Portugal.
That's right. I couldn't remember what
Portugal.
it was. Yeah.
He's lived in Miami, but he conducts all over the world.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
we're so lucky to have
hired him. We are so lucky to have him. We hired him knowing that he was going to continue to conduct all over the world. But one of the reasons we wanted that to continue to happen was that he can bring all that expertise and all that experience back to our orchestra and work with them, and they love working with him.
Yeah.
And you have such an understanding of what he does and how that works with this orchestra. Tell him what you think.
Well, no, it's interesting that as Giacomo conducts various, from National Symphony, he's having his premiere with the Houston Symphony this summer. Charlotte, he has his own kind of crossover orchestra that he has in Miami. That you just kind of attract this artistic talent, and people who really respect that. You want to be around people like you, basically. So when you see somebody who's like really trying to push the level and do something interesting and new and unique, you kind of seek that out.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
it's just interesting that who would think that when we have our auditions every summer, that just from the musicians that he knows, you have people flying in from New York on their own dime to audition for the Amarillo Symphony. And,
what an awakening landing here from New York. Huh?
So,
I've never seen anything this flat.
No, but at the same time, going back to the hall, that so many orchestras our size or communities our size, they have a hall that you have to hide.
Sure.
That it's a high school auditorium or something that you never put a picture of it anywhere.
That's where I'm sure you win them over.
Right.
Yeah, you may come out of our small airport or a little small in Amarillo, and then all of a sudden you pull up to that and you go, well, wait a minute, this is pretty serious. And by the time you get inside, you've got to be won over. Just won over so well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you have to go see it. If you haven't been down to see a tour, and you can tour it most days during the week, or is it?
Well, you can
tour
tour it. All you
schedule?
need to do is call the Civic Center complex, and you can ask for a tour. Of course, if you can catch Liz or I, either one will always give anyone a tour.
Now that's a real tour if you get their tour. So.
We know things like there's only 84 feet from the front of the stage to the back row, and we know the catwalks, and we know everything because we
Liz did the interview that I was in.
Yeah.
So she doesn't remember that, but that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We came with the Leadership Amarillo Canyon.
Oh, okay.
A couple of years ago. So we're gonna get Lisa in here one of these days. We're gonna interview them too. So okay, so we're kind of running out of time.
Yes.
So I believe you're gonna play a little piece for us, whatever. So if everybody,
it's been a while since I've played. But,
Is it both?
let's do a duet. No,
let's do a duet. Duet's good with you guys. Yeah.
Let's
What do
do
you
our
think?
usual concerto.
Oh, okay.
A little concerto for you, Flo.
Okay,
How's
got
that?
it.
So,
Ready?
I remember. Yes.
Okay.
oh my goodness. No fighting over the keys now. Wow, that was amazing.
Yes. Oh gosh, they're so good.
It's been a long time since we've done that.
So who was your piano teacher?
Ben Clobber.
Ben Clobber, yes. Ben.
We were both there at the same time.
Yeah,
at the Ben
it was
Clobber.
at his institute, I guess.
Right. We won several awards.
We have.
So when they were telling us you'd been institutionalized or whatever, that's not what they meant. I took that really wrong.
Exactly.
I apologize. I took that
John,
well. Time with Joe, we understand. So, it's okay. So last thing, because we've got to wrap it up, whatever. So we'll take it back this way real quick. Favorite thing about our symphony? Right off the top of your head, what's your favorite thing?
Gosh.
Our orchestra.
Orchestra?
Our
Okay.
orchestra.
The orchestra musicians and what they do with Jacomo Bairos.
Yes. Now, are they some are paid, some are volunteer? Is there
They're all
a little
paid.
bit? They're paid.
They're a
All paid.
professional
That's
orchestra.
awesome. No, that's
All
awesome.
Professional orchestra.
Some of them would probably do it for free.
Most of them are from around our area.
Close. Okay.
Most of them are from West Texas A&M University, Amarillo College. We're
Okay.
very proud of that. Some of them are flying in from New York, Chicago, lots of different places.
So you were telling me real quick at WT we have a very famous opera teacher, opera
from
singer,
Amarillo College.
Amarillo
Mary
College
Jane
from AC.
Johnson.
I'm sorry,
Mary Jane
Okay.
Johnson has. She's
Mary
a
Jane Johnson.
very famous
Okay.
international.
Well, you have
opera
to look up Mary
singer.
Jane Johnson. Okay.
Yes, you did. And she has sung most of the major houses of the world.
Wow.
And she's going to open our season this next season in September. And
That's
we're
great.
Very proud of that.
Yeah,
She and
that'll be a
Johnson.
sellout.
It will be a sellout.
Real quick, how many seats? Anybody?
1234.
Okay, so around 1,200 seats, and prices range, or is it kind of a buy one get one, or no?
Price,
It's
well,
not like
if you
the-
subscribe, it's cheaper, but
Okay.
single tickets are basically $20 through
What?
45 or 50.
Yeah.
You get that
really
entertainment
fancy
for
seats.
$20.
Right.
Pretty much.
No,
Right.
And
No,
that-
yes,
come on, you
absolutely.
guys.
Yeah.
Now, is that a
It's a
seat in the
bargain.
parking lot or
No,
watching it?
no.
No,
That's
remember,
in the hall.
84 seats from the front. I mean, 84
84
feet.
feet.
84 feet from the stage. $20.
That's right. It is, people think that the Amarillo Symphony or any symphony orchestra is an elitist event or an
Yeah.
evening. It's not.
Everybody doesn't wear tuxedos
No,
anymore and put on the
no.
boat. I mean, I know that some people still have that
It
image.
is.
No, I don't want to get all dressed up to go.
I mean, and my favorite patron is, where does he drive his Harley in from, or ride his Harley in from?
Maybe
You're
Dumas.
right.
I think maybe Dumas. But,
Yeah.
Dennis, yeah.
See, that's perfect.
You can wear jeans
Yeah.
to the orchestra.
So that's kind of what needs to be the theme of
Yeah.
what we let people know about what this
Yeah.
podcast is about. Come dressed as you are, but just come enjoy the music.
Come enjoy
See
the
the
music.
culture.
Exactly.
Bring your kids. Look at what it's done, right?
Right.
Okay. I mean,
Exactly.
somebody took you. You got to see it and watch it and listen to it and go, "Wow, this is super cool. This is what I want to do." And it's what you did. That's the neatest thing. So we want to thank you guys a ton for doing this and helping us. And Flo and I have no culture, so we feel like we've gained a little culture this evening.
I can
So-
get you a ticket.
Okay, we will come. We would love to see it. Now,
The doctor took a culture.
you'll be okay.
The doctor took the culture.
Yeah, we'll get the results back soon. Yeah, I'm sure. So we want to thank you guys. Please support the symphony. Come to it. Come see it. Come enjoy it and be a part of it. So September. The next one is September.
16th and 17th.
I was off a date. 16,
Okay, that's
17.
Friday and Saturday.
yeah. The kids will be back in school, so it's a good night to get out. By that time, you're ready to go out.
Right.
But we'd really rather you bring the kids,
Exactly.
if you can. So
Exactly.
what a great event! When you see this hall, there's probably not any that are much nicer anywhere in the world.
No.
With what you guys created and what it is, and to be a part of it. So go take the tour. People always looking for something to do in Amarillo. So if you can't make it into the Street Auto Group and come into our Toyota or Volkswagen store, we'd even probably throw in some tickets if you bought a car. We could probably work something out and
idea,
maybe
John.
get you that 84 feet from the stage deal. So, okay. So we want to thank our guests
Great
and Amarillo, as we always end our podcast. We love you and we love everything you do for us, and it's an honor to let us serve you and do the things that we do, and be a part of this with you guys is really something special. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, John.
See you soon.
Thank you.